folks, welcome back to SourceFedNERD. This is Superhero Roundup, the show where we talk about all the comic book shows on TV. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
I'm Sam Basher.
I'm DJ Woldridge.
Yeah.
I was very surprised by the fact that I'm Trisha Hirschberger.
Yeah, there's four of us.
Today.
It's like,
coming at it from all sides.
Which direction do we go? Let's jump right in to Constantine. Last week's episode, or I guess 2 weeks ago episode.
We have 2 weeks of
but
episodes.
Then this last Friday is probably the best of the show.
Right.
Definitely the
Rage of
scariest of the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah. And that's what I'm expecting from this show. That's why I loved it so much. And serial killer kids. I'll watch any movie when kids are like a little demented. So I love this episode.
See, and I kind of felt the opposite. Like, I'm not watching this show to get the pants scared off me. I don't generally like that kind of stuff. I'm watching this show to see all the demonology and occult stuff and how they pull from different theologies all the time and interweave them together. That's what I love about Constantine. So with that being said, I felt like the episode before last with Papa Midnight was a
really
super
good.
cool episode for me.
Still
What I'm
solid.
watching it for.
And what's his Spectre?
A Spectre, brief cameo with a weird New Orleans accent.
Yeah.
A lot of stalling. Like, we're just gonna drive around and pick up the spirit for no reason.
Also,
Like, they just
for
redo
no
things just to
reason.
do things.
He just grasped onto the whole supernatural thing like that. Like he didn't even
He was
think
real
twice.
quick coming around to
like
it,
why
yeah.
would I doubt a little bit longer than he did? He
Yeah.
was like he
Yep.
took him in and he's like, all right, I'll team up with you. See what's gonna happen.
Papa Midnight showed up again. He was good. But I thought this by the way, this last Friday's episode was actually supposed to be the second episode.
Oh.
It got
Really?
shifted around because of the whole losing what's her face from the pilot and picking up
I
Zed.
see.
Oh, because she
and
wasn't
all that
there.
stuff. Yeah.
I see.
So that's why there was a little bit of awkward pacing in the beginning.
I'm okay with that.
I'd still like to see this show kind of figure out what is Zed's function in the team and what is Chaz's function
It's just
in
going
the
to take
team.
some time. It's going to take a couple of episodes to do it.
We've had a couple episodes.
But I feel
It's
like
almost
they
near
keep
the end of
dropping.
the
I feel
season.
like they're
That's true.
intentionally dropping hints that we should not trust Zed. So I feel like maybe they're being vague on Zed's purpose in the series intentionally.
It's
Also-
a balancing act.
Wait, he can smoke. He
Wait,
lit up
he
the-
can't
No.
smoke.
but
He lit.
He can light
and
it.
then the screen went
But no,
dark.
and then the episode with Papa Midnight, he is smoking.
No, he's not smoking. They are allowed to have
There's
a lit cigarette in his mouth.
This is so stupid. This is so
No,
dumb.
the dumber thing is the showrunner was asked about why they call him Constantine instead of Constantine, and he said they wanted to call him Constantine because that's how you pronounce it.
Right.
But NBC would let him have a cigarette in his mouth. They'd let him be blonde. They'd let him be British, but apparently Constantine was a bridge too far. And they're like, no, it has to be Constantine.
Because it's based on a movie, right? This movie, Constantine, with Keanu Reeves, with all the 3D glass that shattered, and the wings.
Also, a lot of people have been hitting us up on the hashtag SH Roundup, panicking about the fact that they believe the show is canceled. It's not canceled yet. It's
No,
just
and the
not-
ratings are doing really well.
Yeah, it's not
really
getting a
well.
back time. Honestly, I feel like this might be the best. If it stays like a 13 episode seasons, that might be the best thing that happens.
I'm okay with that.
They could use their budget better, maybe
Yes.
make better effects, maybe better stories. I don't know. The
Yeah.
stories have been great, though. I'm not saying they're bad.
A 13
Yeah.
episode season keeps the pacing really nice and tight, and it means that the budget's going to be distributed like pretty evenly or where
Right.
it needs to go. There's not going to be as much stalling, and I think 13 episodes should be the standard for all shows, personally. Yeah.
All shows that are trying to mimic big budget films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I will leave a comment to this video. There was a fan film that was released, I believe, this week. That, if you want to know, it's closer to the comic book version of it. It's a fan film, so some of the acting's a little wood.
It's
Okay.
not
It's
that
okay.
bad.
And some of the shooting's a little awkward,
You've
but it's
seen
definitely
worse.
more.
If you've seen fan films, you've seen worse.
Yeah, but it's definitely truer to the personality of the character than the show even can be because it's on NBC.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Shield.
Which unfortunately I'm not caught up for, but I don't care about spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm finally caught up on Agents of
Then bring
S.H.I.E.L.D.
us in, Trisha.
Which is exciting. So yeah, Sky's dad is pretty fucked up, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty fucking cool at
Yes,
the
he
same
is.
Also
time.
cool, but okay, so revelation, when you see Sky's dad grab Sky's mom's body, that was the first time in this whole series that I'm like, oh my god, I get him, he's okay with me now. Like, I'm okay with the fact that he's a lunatic and has murdered all these people, because that sucks.
Because he lost his wife, and his wife was
He didn't
tortured.
just lose her, all of her organs
Were
and
pulled
stuff
out.
were
It's
taken
horrific.
out.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. But it probably.
But
is.
let's talk
It
about
is
this
probably her.
episode, though. Do you think that Mac is dead?
No. If he had to be like tased with like how many volts and he was shot with like 3 tranks and he kept going.
Yeah, 3 ICER bullets.
Yeah,
kept going.
he's gonna. I think he's okay.
I don't know.
But-
I'm voting dead.
No, he's so good.
But that's the thing is like I don't want him to be dead.
I mean, he's gonna have a relationship with Simmons if he stays alive. But
Or
what?
Or-
Wait. Max
not
can have a
Simmons.
relationship with Simmons?
Not Simmons.
No.
Fitz.
Yeah, he and
no, that's my prediction.
not
No.
OTP. We're talking about their pals.
Hey, maybe all 3 of them. Come on, let's
No.
dream big, everybody.
See? Are you kidding? The way Gemma makes eyes at him all the time.
No, you kidding? No, it's Gemma and
You can
Trip.
say-
It's been Gemma and Trip since last season. Done deal when she was bandaging him.
Okay.
Anyway, this
You want
episode.
OTP? I will take you down. It
Like
wasn't the
words.
So you
strongest
sense that
installment.
Bobby's up to no good?
Mac knows.
Mac knows.
Mac knows. And he's a good guy, so it may not be the worst thing, but it's definitely something that's bad enough that she won't tell Hunter.
Is
So
it
I'm
like
very curious.
Hyderabad?
It's not Hydra.
You don't
I'm wondering.
think?
I'm wondering if either she's
I'm
a
wondering if
double
it's
agent for a
Hyderabad.
third party, or maybe she's sold secrets or something like that. I don't know, but I don't think she's working for Hydra.
Oh, what if she's a sleeper agent? Like Agent 13.
Agent 33.
33, thank you.
But that's the thing is like Mac. That conversation would mean that she knows. If Max said, you know, like, are you gonna tell him? She's like, no, he doesn't need to.
I don't know. Anytime Coulson gives her more information than she already has, it makes me real nervous.
Hmm.
All right, well, thank you so much, gentlemen,
Thank you
for
for
the
joining
lovely
us,
conversation, and I will see you next week.
Yes, you will. Now we can discuss Gotham briefly before we get to the main event. Honestly, I didn't absolutely hate this episode.
Really?
I like Alfred a lot.
Oh, he's
in
the
this
best
show.
part of the show, but the
Easily.
show is not called Alfred.
But I was just thinking, like, what if it was? like it turns out that's the Batman prequel show I wanted.
Yeah.
Is just young Alfred. Because him and Donald Logue just hanging out for an episode, I was like,
Yeah. Cause he's like basically he's like a special agent with money. So it's like, listen, I'll pay you off, and if you won't take money, I'll beat the shit out of you
Alfred
or
beat people
shoot
up?
you. Yeah,
a lot of people up.
He's
That's
the
cool.
best.
the most incompetent assassins ever go after young Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle, and Alfred is the main impetus in protecting them. He teams up with Gordon and Harvey Bullock.
to try to find them. And they have to like learn to survive on their own. And like Bruce at one point, he has to jump across a rooftop to like chase Catwoman, and he almost doesn't make it. Oh no!
What's gonna happen? Is he gonna
Bruce
fall to his death?
died?
Probably
Yeah,
not.
is Bruce gonna die?
That'd be the coolest
I want
twist to this show if he died and you're like,
Oh man, we're in an alternate reality, Gotham.
The show
That
would have no idea what to
blow
do.
Yeah.
So.
minds,
Yeah.
though.
The show would
the
end.
show would implode.
Yeah.
For me, what I liked about this episode, Alfred, absolutely. Donald Logue gets to be a little bit more Donald Logue, and I'm liking that. What I don't like is everything is so complicated and so hollow at the same time.
Yeah.
All the mob plots and all the plots around who killed the Waynes, it's all just a lot of just noise. And I just...
Yeah. I liked Alfred. I like that Gordon's been reassigned and that we're shifting gears, because maybe that'll lead to some more fruitful story opportunities. But like, there's it doesn't make any sense. The mayor doesn't have the authority to just assign you to a different place because he doesn't
he's
like
the mayor.
But it's not. He literally is just like, okay, you go. It's
this is how Gotham works.
But did you have a moment there when Gordon's like, maybe you'll like your new partner better? Could it be Alfred? That doesn't make any sense, but could it be Alfred,
It won't
please?
be Alfred.
But could it be?
Civilian consultant.
No.
Civilian
yeah. Oh,
consultant.
and Poison Ivy comes back. Poison Ivy
And
comes
apparently
back to
she's
just
scary as shit.
Yeah.
According to Selena.
Yeah.
And by the way, in a show as campy as this show is, I don't need the implications of child rape.
Nope.
There's a point where Selena takes Bruce to one of her fences, and it gets very creepy.
Yeah.
And this show cannot support that tone.
For me, I didn't like it better than other episodes, and it just reinforced the fact that Sean Pertwee deserves a better show.
He does. He deserves his own show.
As does Donald Logue.
Yeah. Yeah. He deserves to be on Terriers.
Don't worry, he won't.
Terriers is never coming back.
never coming back.
It's a great show.
so good.
It's never coming back.
Now to the main event.
Yeah. Screw the potatoes. Let's
Yeah.
eat the meat. Flash, Arrow, crossover, fights.
Yeah.
Both best episodes of the season.
Yeah, I do. I did find it funny that Flash, the best episode of Flash this season was Arrow, and the best Arrow episode this season was Flash. They both had their best episodes in each other's shows.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
That's the way it felt to
It was
me.
definitely the best episode of The Flash. I felt that the Arrow episode was like a little too light just because of like all the addition of the Flash characters and the Flash sense of humor.
Yeah.
But the fact is they are being self-reflexive. They are commenting on it as they do it, which made it hurt a little less.
Yeah, honestly, I loved the Arrow team and Flash team interactions.
They're great.
Those things.
They're great.
And it's funny to me that the best stuff Diggle has gotten all season has been in this two-parter. You
Yeah.
think that these things would be so big that you lose track of a character like Diggle?
No.
But the
High
Arrow
stakes.
episode was pretty much about him and his relationship with his wife. And she got a cool moment. There was that great scene in the Arrow cave where the ladies versus versus Boomerang, which by the way, when Green Arrow was first introduced, he was a complete Batman ripoff, and he did have an Arrow cave and he did have an Arrowmobile. All those references were appreciated.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's so cool.
But then she's like, guns!
Yeah.
She throws it, she grabs it out of the drawer, she racks it, and she's fighting Captain Boomerang, essentially by herself.
Exactly. Well, and it was also great. That was because it's like, please don't. I kind of want either Diggle to move into security in the Flash show or leave the series, because the longer he stays, the more likely something bad's going to happen to him or Lila.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen bad to him or Lila.
They're setting it up that he can leave.
Need it.
They're setting up that he's going to start a family.
As much as I love that actor and I want him to continue working, I don't want anything bad to happen to his character.
Actually, that would be interesting, moving him over to the Flash, because I don't know what.
He was great over there.
He had a great rapport with that team.
Yeah.
And they need security.
Oh, the
badly.
look on his face when he sees Barry for the first time and he knocks over his fries and he's.
That's an appropriate response to
Exactly.
things like that.
Yes.
He's never seen any. He's like a normal person reacting to that, and he asks all the questions, like the dumb ones you ask.
No.
Like, does he go to the bathroom quicker than
Does he
most
do
people?
everything fast?
Yeah.
And then Barry doing the salmon ladder.
Yeah.
Boy, that's so hard.
That's so funny.
I'm sorry, guys. Like, we're jumping between the two episodes. Honestly,
it's hard to because they're so great.
They're so great. Both of them are kind of standalone. I actually would have preferred if they'd been
Bridged?
more because
Like a
it's kind of
two-parter.
like the Flash episode starts with them kind of confrontational, and then they resolve it, and then Arrow starts again with them being confrontational again, and they do an okay job explaining it. And that now that you're in Arrow's house, and he's just kind of. He's got an arrow up his ass, you know. But it would have been better if I think the arc had gone from one episode to the next.
Yeah.
No, I disagree
Personally.
because I like to see how they take these characters. One's a darker character, one's a more lighthearted character, and how they interact in their world. Like with Oliver Queen in Central City, I felt like it was like Alien a little bit, and he kind of had to figure out how to work. Not that it didn't work, is that it did work, and it was just kind of like this new factor in there. Like he's much darker. Like I like the way he fought the Flash, even though he got fucked up,
Well,
even though he somehow caught his fist.
Yeah.
At 700 miles an hour, you're not catching anything.
I also like the result. Cisco's result, like, oh, it was a tie.
No,
It kind of ended with Arrow having Flash in a headlock.
Yeah,
and
but
so
at the same time, Flash could have escaped. That's just writing. It's writing that he didn't escape in time. There was plenty of time for him to escape. He is the Flash.
literally, Arrow was this close to being pancaked, but he somehow got caught.
It also is a stretch, like a lot of with these, like the traditional Batman, Superman throwdown. Like Oliver's whole point is, listen, I have tactics. But he was in the middle of beating the shit out of Eddie for you to go down there. Like, when did you have time to place your little trap arrows? Like, I'd like to see a shot of him just running around the alley. I'm gonna set this up. You dead yet, Eddie? No? Cool. Okay, I'm gonna go set this up.
Fucking hold on, Jesus! He's going so fast. Like, I don't know where to place anything. He's
But it
going in
was
the other half of the city.
Either way, it was a cool fight. Like, the same thing with all those hero
It
fights.
was very
a cool
well
fight.
staged.
Yeah.
Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week, they normally have good fights. The fight this week was really poorly
Zuko
shot.
made?
It was not good. This fight was very well choreographed, very well shot.
Mad Barry is good Barry.
Mad Barry
that
is
was
awesome.
some great acting.
Yeah.
I loved him more in this episode than I have in other episodes.
Because he got to stretch, because he's such a nice guy, and now we get to really see
and
what
you
he's
made a
feeling.
good point that he's finally the Flash. He's cocky. Like
Yeah.
when he showed up in Arrow with like the sushi and everything.
Yeah,
but
he's a
in
smartass now. I like
he's
smartass
a smartass.
better.
He called out Oliver like for being jealous and he called out Eddie. He called out everybody.
Yeah, and also it makes
Captain
sense that
Six-
this guy would have a lot of pent-up anger that Prism, which also, by the way, Caitlin throws out the name Rainbow Raider, which is the actual comic book name of that character.
Got it.
Which
So
makes
fucking
sense that they
lame.
didn't
Yeah.
go with
But
it.
hey, can we just say big ups to Flash for having the first openly gay comic book character on TV? Captain Singh
Oh, yeah,
talks
yeah.
about his husband.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yep.
cool.
Yep.
The first
That went
openly
over my
gay
head.
character in a comic book show.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
He's kind of a jerk, but it's still cool.
Yeah,
I like the Barry.
he's just
put
doing
him
his
in
job.
place.
Also in the Flash episode, I like Caitlin's little throw out, like, oh, it's great to have a woman around. And Felicity's like, I know what you mean. Honestly, I kind of wish every episode could be a crossover because those interactions were
We're so
good.
special.
But it's
Good.
because
Yeah.
that they're not. Is
Probably,
why it's so special.
Yeah.
probably.
And the way the Flash finally figured out how to solve this problem.
Well, that
Best
was the
moment for the
was
Flash.
great. Yeah.
That's why I think they had those episodes were their best episodes, is because in Flash you had Arrow holding his own against the Flash, which is a borderline
Yeah.
miracle.
And training him.
And training him,
Yeah.
and then shooting him in the back
gag.
with arrows. And then, whereas in the Arrow episode, one of the best Flash moments, because not the bomb situation that Captain Boomerang sets up is not only something only the Flash could solve, but the way he solves it, the way he has to solve it by bringing in other people to go like, oh, I can't do all the bombs at once, so I grab all his friends to do it with him. Was such a specifically Barry way of solving that. It was great. It was so good.
Was it the best decision? No. He
No.
could have just the time it took him to go to every bomb, like twice. He could have collected them and put them anywhere
But
else.
how could he have clipped all the wires?
Clipped
at
all
the
the
same
wires,
time?
He just needed to put them together and then out of the city. That's what he said. He was going to take the bomb out of the city. Put them all together. They don't detonate until he left.
If you move it, it'll detonate.
He's moving real fast.
It was a cool moment.
Yeah, it was a cool moment. It was a
cool
sorry
moment.
Yeah.
I also love because it's important to recognize that when Ollie comes to Starling City, he already has all the training.
Yeah.
He's already the Arrow. He's still on a vengeance streak. He's still a murderer, but he is effectively the Arrow. Barry's still figuring out how to be a hero and how to fight and all this stuff. And I'm glad that they pointed that out. They called it out, and he's actively working on it. It shows that they're being very, very smart and very, very real about these characters.
Yeah.
I like that it was an Oliver growth episode. Like
Yes.
the flashback
Yeah.
was okay. That was okay. It didn't really drag me. It didn't get
Yeah.
me that excited. And also like
I was surprised
whatever,
they had
yeah.
one, considering that there was so much going
Also,
on.
it was a
Yeah.
little weird. Like Amanda Waller's like, I'm going to have you test torturing somebody on
Yeah.
this guy that apparently we only have 10 minutes to figure out where this bomb is. Also, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
like why would you have it? Yeah, whatever. But like that didn't need
People
to be
make
there.
mistakes.
Yeah, but I like to see that like Oliver like still like his badass self. He still shot an arrow through Captain Boomerang,
Yeah.
but like at the same time like he got to grow a little bit.
And Captain Boomerang was great.
Captain Boomerang, for being one of the goofiest villains in comics, was a total such a badass, in fact, that he doesn't even get put back on the Suicide Squad. He goes to Island with Deathstroke.
Yeah, he goes
Yeah.
to Lian Yu.
Yeah.
Oh man, so when they break out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of hoping now that we have two super prisons that OMAC releases both of them at the same time.
And it's just a flood.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that would fuel an entire season of both shows.
Exactly.
Is tracking
But,
down all these people.
But you're right with the Arrow growth thing. The hardest part with these crossovers, and something that Batman v Superman is going to have a hard time overcoming, is it's hard giving both characters moments. I was always, and typically in these things, I guess because hypothetically they're the underdog in these crossovers, the Batman, and in this case I was worried with Arrow, are going to look like total badasses and going to completely trump the superpowered guy, even if it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Yeah. They
And
have to
while
look that way.
he did look very impressive in Flash, I like the fact that Flash got to call him out on a couple things in that episode. One, guess what? I saw my mom die too, and I found a way to function around it. And Oliver had to point out, well, maybe you're just more well-adjusted than I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
And self-aware.
And also the fact that he kind of called out the mission statement of the show of this is Arrow learning. It's not a guy. Flash is a guy learning how to be the Flash. Arrow is this weapon learning how to be a human being again. And that was very cool. It was very in moments like, again, like the salmon ladder, it made Flash relevant and vibrant in those shows, and just as much of a hero.
Yeah,
as
and
Arrow
I feel like now the Flash show, with the moments that he had across both episodes, now has more weight. Like I feel like that's one of the big criticisms, that it's been a little light in the loafers, but they flat out call that out in the Arrow episode, where it's like, I guess it does feel more light and more fun and less real if they have powers.
You don't have to take it as serious.
Yeah. So I really, really like that. I also like that he's off Iris. That everybody in the world is saying, Oliver says, that's not gonna work out. Don't go for Iris. Iris is pissed at him, so she doesn't want to go for Iris. She doesn't want him to go for Iris. And then also now we have this task force led by Eddie.
I need to continue. Sorry, I have a point. The Eddie, why is he mad at the Flash? Besides being beat up,
before he was mad at him before beating up. That's when it doesn't make sense. After he's beat up.
No. The episode starts with, "Oh, you believe in him," and then like bank robbery. Somehow he connected it. Like he's like, well, we saw him at the thing. We need to start a task force. Like, no, you don't, Eddie. Like,
well,
what the fuck you
but that's the
about?
thing. Is like when he's bringing it up to Captain Singh the first time, it doesn't sound like he's bringing it up to like capture him. It's just sort of like, we need to figure out what we're doing about this. And it's after he gets pummeled that it's like, no, we not only need to figure out what we're doing, we need to stop this guy.
And the dialogue flashes as he says, "I think you've been looking for me," and like all these lines that makes it seem like it should have been set up longer, like over a couple episodes. And like, but it's only set up in this episode, so I was like, I'll accept this for right now, but like, because that's like Eddie's part, I guess that makes sense
these
for
are good
him.
points,
but like, you rush that. You rush that. Haha, fast jokes. They make fast jokes the whole thing, and they pointed out too.
Well, in Arrow, they made boomerang jokes the entire episode.
Oh my God, please shut up about those. He made like 4, I think, and I'm like, this is too much.
But
goes around, comes around, Sam Basher.
And it's the same joke too.
Also, for people that watch Flash but do not watch Arrow, the lady in the scene that Oliver meets is his baby mama.
Is his baby
did
mama.
not do any work setting that up at all.
I thought it was pretty cool that they had that moment in there to show that she's still around. In season 2 of Arrow, now that I've caught up with everything.
Nice, good for you.
In season 2 of Arrow, Oliver's mom in a flashback pays her $2 million to tell Oliver that she lost the kid and to move to Central City and raise it herself.
Everybody collectively went, oh shit.
And then her mom has a good sense to die at the end of that episode. And so her secret goes with her to her grave.
Not baby mama,
Oliver's mom.
Yeah.
That was a gut punch of an episode.
I saw the trailer was released for the mid-season finale for Flash and for Arrow. Flash, we get to see the person we've been waiting to see, and it's Reverse Flash.
Yes!
See,
that's exciting.
You guys haven't watched it. You want me to talk about what happens in the trailer?
Yes.
Do it.
Okay. Because Harrison Wells he captured him.
He captures Reverse Flash.
He is being held in some sort of cage thing, and it looks like a serial killer. Like he is
captured
because he's
unless he's setting up a trap,
right? But you know, there's going to be a showdown between
the two
of them.
No.
Exactly right. We don't know what this means, and Eddie's there too. Eddie. But every fan theory is going out the window. It's amazing.
That's the great thing that they did with Arrow, and I hope they do with Flash, is they do a good job of setting up something that looks very pat and predictable, and then viewing it. Because if watching halfway through season 1 of Arrow, I would have been convinced that Tommy will be a bad guy. He will take Merlin's throne, and that did not happen.
Nope, it did not.
Nope, but he still might come back via Lazarus Pit this season.
Maybe.
Yeah, and the next episode for Arrow is with Raish.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the Raish.
Oh, and can we also briefly touch on the costume redesign, the Arrow costume
Yeah, that was
redesign?
sweet.
Yeah, it was
It's
subtle,
pretty
but it was
sweet.
cool. Yeah, it was cool. Also the Rocky 3 ending where we both end it punching who's gonna win.
Flash will win.
Flash will
Flash will win.
Flash
It's
will win.
the Flash.
Also,
The Flash will
the
win.
Superman or Batman? Superman.
The other
The
thing I
Flash
hope
doesn't have a weakness like kryptonite.
the thing I hope they take, if the guys that are making Batman v Superman watch this crossover, which they are not and they will not, I love the fact that Arrow is very clearly jealous of the Flash.
Yeah.
Like at the last shot, Flash calls him out on it, but maybe he's not jealous. But then he's leaving the prison like, oh, I have one of these. It's on a island with mines and stuff. Yeah, he's clearly jealous. I like that. I like the fact
why
that
are you
Oliver's
saying that?
flawed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not perfect. He's not, and it's something that always kind of typically bothers me with when Batman crosses over with anybody. Batman's this unstoppable force, and it's one of those he's still a character. Make him a character, and
still
don't
a
try to
person.
invalidate every other character just because you like Batman.
Because that's a key moment. Is just sort of like what's fueling Ollie in that moment is like, think of all the good I could do with your powers.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why he wants to train him. It's like, fucking, if I had your powers, my city would have been cleaned up overnight.
Yeah.
What are you doing? How can you be so happy?
Yeah. Stop it.
Yeah.
Real quick, Suicide Squad.
Official casting announcements.
Yes.
Will Smith as Deadshot.
Deadshot,
Yes.
which is a great choice not only for the movie but for Will Smith. because
Greater
everybody-
choice
has
for
not
Will
been doing
Smith.
Greater choice for Will Smith. Yeah.
Jared Leto as Joker, which was already pretty much
Yeah.
predicted.
Same with Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
what's-
Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang, which just, like,
honestly, I was more pissed off at the idea of Boomerang being in the movie at all. Why are we wasting space with him? Although, as the Suicide Squad episode in Arrow showed us, you need at least, it's called the Suicide Squad, so you need at least one person that you're willing to knock off.
I didn't mind Captain Boomerang in the Justice League Unlimited episode Task Force X.
I've never watched that.
Okay.
But they made
Oh, it's
Captain
one of the
Boomerang
best
look really cool.
And also, Boomerang in this show
Was awesome.
was amazing. So good argument for that character. being
Yeah,
on Suicide
they
Squad.
originally wanted Ryan Gosling for that part.
Which would have been pretty.
Is
Which
it
been way
Joe?
better.
The good thing about
Jai
Jai Courtney is he's Australian, and so is Boomerang.
Maybe
Is
he'll be
Boomerang
a better
supposed to be?
actor with more charisma when he gets to talk in his
own
regular accent.
I also like
hoping.
how hard the actor who played Boomerang in this show tried to have an Australian accent.
well,
but it
Oh
was
no, he didn't!
kinda-
Oh my God, no, he didn't. Is that what is he doing?
I think
I
that's
thought
what
he
he
had
was
a
trying
It was
to
a
impediment.
weird
I missed that.
It was like a Maori accent.
Tom Hardy got the role that
As
you
Rick
predicted.
Flag, who is typically the field commander. Also, rumors are that DC's top pick for Amanda Waller is Oprah Winfrey.
Oh my God,
Which
that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, I would love it personally because
why
for
would she
one-
do it?
For one, no, she would never do
No.
it. But it's the return of the Wall. None of this waif-thin 23-year-old.
Yeah.
That was the best Amanda Waller we've ever seen in Arrow, and I still can't take her seriously because she looks younger than all of us.
You have a different opinion because you read the comics.
But-
I think she's badass.
But anyway,
Oh no!
and
CCH
also-
Pounder on the Justice League Unlimited show is my Amanda Waller.
Who else could you see somebody that could talk down a character like Batman? Because Amanda Waller stood up to Batman.
Yeah.
Other than Oprah Winfrey, like that's a
Oprah.
person that you see
Yeah.
on screen. You're like, I do what you say.
CCH Pounder would be able
She'd
to
be
carry
great.
that.
She would be great at
I love her
that.
on Warehouse 13. She's great.
There's at least 2 or 3 actresses from The Wire that I think would be great as
Yeah.
Amanda Waller.
The other picks are basically it's Viola Davis and Octavia Spencer, both from The Help.
Wait, well, who was?
I mean, Viola Davis would be
Dude,
killer.
yeah,
She'd be
do a
great,
job.
but who was the other person announced? Enchantress?
Oh yeah,
Enchantress.
Cara Delevingne.
Ooh, I looked up
Who-
Enchantress, and she is awesome.
Yeah.
If somehow they fit magic into this,
Yeah,
which
that's one
don't
thing I
know
like about the
how that-
Suicide Squad is it looks like a good cross section of
Everything.
the
Yeah.
DCU villains. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for that. I honestly, at this point, it's the Dirty Dozen with supervillains. Dirty Dozen is one of my favorite movies ever. David Ayer is not my favorite director, but I think he's perfect for that project.
Yeah.
And I like I like the fact that Marvel very clearly has a very coordinated plan, and it looks like Warner Brothers is like, cool, you do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. And
Yeah.
they announced
Yeah.
Michelle McLaren as the director for Wonder Woman. They're trying things.
Yeah, they're
being
taking
daring.
they're taking big risks with A-list talent.
Yeah, but why won't they take the risk to put Batman and Superman on the Arrow? What would be so terrible?
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
there was an interview recently with the creators of Arrow and Flash, and they said they're not allowed to mention Gotham or Metropolis or Batman by name. But the hope is they're working on the Supergirl. They've already ordered the Supergirl series for CBS. The C in CW, the W
Is
Warner Brothers
CBS.
is CBS,
Yeah.
and the descriptions for Supergirl imply that Superman is around in that universe. So I'm hoping we're building towards if they do that TV Justice League and Supergirl's a part of it with Ray Palmer. Like that's the one thing I wanted to see in
And
these Arrow
just
Flash
like-
crossovers. Like I want to see Ray Palmer interact with these characters.
He's almost there.
Yeah.
He's this close.
I
You know
want
the
to see that
finale will
TV
be
Justice
there.
League.
Yeah.
Oh, also
Benedict Cumberbatch announced as Doctor Strange, confirmed.
confirmed, which
Kinda
is
knew it.
great for that movie. I'm a little bit disappointed for him because I think he's probably better than
He just did a
It's
Madagascar
just, it's just
film.
so
I think he's
obvious,
okay.
though. It's the most obvious cast in
It's
the world.
gonna make that movie better, and it makes me more
I
excited
know.
for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
The other,
I think I'm in Avengers Infinity Wars.
yeah,
Okay, that's pretty fucking
That's
awesome.
all I think about.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
he'll
pretty fucking
interact
awesome.
with Robert Downey, and that'll be cool. Also, word is that Kristen Ritter is on the front line to play Jessica Jones in the Netflix series.
Great.
Which loved her in Breaking Bad. She was also in The Bitch in Apartment 23, whatever. But I mean, like, I think that would be
That should be great.
Yeah, for last week, in case you missed, in case you didn't visit the comic shop, I recommend Secret Six #1. It's one of Gail Simone's flagship titles. It's another team of a bunch of villains, a lot similar to the Suicide Squad. Very cool. Definitely check it out. This coming week, this coming Wednesday, check out Batgirl 37. There's been a redesign on the character. All for cool, powerful ladies in comic books. Check that out. Amazing Spider #11, continuing the Spider-Verse crossover, which has been very good. The artist on it is fantastic.
Wait, there's Gwen Stacy Spider-Man,
Gwen Stacy
right?
Spider-Man, the return of Ben Reilly Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, Spider-Man Noir.
Miles Morales is there.
Yep, they're all there.
How
It's
is
really
this?
fun.
How is this a thing?
It's pretty cool. Event comics tend to suck. Axis, Avengers, X-Men Axis kind of sucks. This is really cool.
Okay.
Thor #3 with Chick Thor, which I don't agree with Chick Thor, mostly because I just don't think for a female superhero to be cool and powerful, she needs to take on a white guy's name. But the book is really good, so check that out. Also at Image for indie comics, Bitch Planet is coming out, which is a women in prison meets sci-fi type thing
cool.
from Kelly Sue DeConnick, who's a really good writer.
Bitch Planet?
Bitch Planet.
Yeah.
Check out Bitch Planet.
That sounds fucking cool.
And also Southern Bastards, which I think might be one of the best indie books that premiered. It's definitely one of the best. It might be the best indie book that premiered this year.
Oh, wow.
It's from Jason Aaron, who did a lot of work on Wolverine and X-Men, and Jason Latour, who I had the pleasure to meet very briefly at Comic-Con. He was a very cool guy.
Oh, cool.
Also, if you love Superman, there's a hardcover coming up of Superman for All Seasons.
Which is just one of the best.
Yeah,
What is that?
It's a 4-issue comic book from Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
Who also did Batman The Long Halloween
Yeah.
and Batman Haunted Night and Batman, what's the sequel to Long Halloween?
Dark Victory.
Dark Victory.
Yeah, and for me, it might be my personal seminal Superman. So, like, when I think about Superman, I kind of go to
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's like, it's
I
a
might actually
very
get that one.
interesting art style because like Superman looks like real chunky.
Yeah,
but it's very well
nostalgic.
written.
It's very like Norman Rockwell.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
it's very cool.
Yeah. So check those out. That's the pull list. I think that's everything for this week on Superhero Roundup. Very big week for us.
I won't be here next week.
What?
I won't be
Why?
here. I'm going on vacation.
Oh, good
Sorry.
for you.
And I'm not gonna be able to watch any of those episodes, and everyone will tweet them to me, and I will already know the spoilers.
everything that happens.
So
Gotham's already off the air. The season finales of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Arrow, and The Flash are all next week.
Yep,
and then
so-
there's just like Constantine for a little while, and then
Maybe next week will be the week before hiatus.
yeah, it might be the last
Maybe.
one. So, folks, we really appreciate you watching the show. Tell your friends about this show. As soon as enough shows come back to merit it, as soon as like 3 or more shows are back, this show will return.
Yep.
And we want to have the strongest audience yet. So tell your friends, if they watch any of these shows, to tune into previous shows, get used to us, and to come back when the show comes back. We want to talk about Agent Carter. We want to talk about all these shows when they come back. We're excited. Yeah.
I'm DJ Woldridge.
I'm Sam Basher.
I'm Matt Lieberman.
God damn, Reverse Flash. God damn, it's gonna be so cool.
It's gonna be so
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah, red
Your
eyes.
eyes
and you
gonna
don't
bug
know
out just
why.
like that?